media always wants to shit on guys who are gone broke or impregnated another girl. But we also got to give them some love, man, because there's been some really dope things I've been seeing.
What I'm realizing is that guys who have a lot on their plate are capable of having a lot on their plate. When you don't hear about anything bad going on with somebody, that's a great sign.
I think some guys need no Instagram Live and no PR team.
We're not gonna get into that.
Okay, we're not. Yeah. Here's a sleeper one. Harry Giles has his own trucking company.
Myself, I just did my first real estate deal and
shit. This guy Matt, he's like actually cool.
Yeah.
I thought he was a square, and like he might actually be a square. Probably he actually is a square. But like, no, okay. Let's go, baby. This is another episode of the Athletes and Assets podcast. I'm your host, Noah Lack, and I bring on your favorite athletes to chat about a business topic. Today, we got Matty Ice in the building. Matt Ryan, thanks for joining us, brother. Proper handshake. You know, usually like I dap guys like this, right? Yeah. But business first, so we're just like that. Let's skip the small talk. Reggie Bullock has his own island, Bullock Island.
Yeah.
Can we expect to see Ryan Island somewhere?
Maybe in like 10 to 15 years.
Would you ever, if there was land that was somewhat affordable, it'd be a little risk, but it was somewhat affordable somewhere, would you pull the trigger and then make it into like a resort or like?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't do it solo. I would definitely go with a group. I feel like that would be a huge responsibility of owning an island of any size. So going in there with a group and having a vision for what we want to do, and then everybody kind of pooling their resources together to make it happen. I think that would be a lot less stressful than going in solo. I'm not sure what Reggie did, but kudos to him. I think he's building kind of a resort thing where people can go there and vacation, and I think he's maybe building like a big house for himself there too. That's definitely something I would do. But yeah, that's a really cool thing.
You strike me as a Martha's Vineyard kind of guy.
Who, me?
Yeah, you go to Martha's Vineyard.
I do like wine.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to Martha's Vineyard.
I say that, but I don't know if it's like islands around it, but what if you had your prime location, where would your island be?
I would have to say, because I'm thinking of islands that I want to visit, like Bora Bora, Maldives, Fiji. But if I were to have an island, it would probably be close to the U.S., maybe somewhere in the Virgin Islands if there's like a uninhabited one.
which rings in the theme of this episode, the cool things that NBA players are doing off the court. You're with the Pelicans right now. Man, like the media always wants to shit on guys who are gone broke or impregnated another girl. And I understand. Like, look, whatever sells the headlines, right? Yeah. But we also got to give them some love, man, because there's been some really dope things I've been seeing. One of them was Reggie Bullock, with his island in Belize. You're doing your thing or going to do your thing. And then, like, how about your guy, CJ McCollum?
Yeah, killing it. I mean, he's got a lot going on. One thing that I'm a huge fan of, though, is his budding wine company. I think it's called Heritage 91 or something like that. Let's get that right.
Yeah, pointing to the computer, make sure I got this correct. Yes. Heritage 91.
Yeah, there we go. I got it right.
The Pinot Noir, Rosé, the Vineyard. What you want? What you need?
Yeah. So I got, actually a couple of weeks ago, me and CJ were at dinner, and he kind of told me about the whole thing. And man, I was listening with my ears wide open. I was, it was really cool to hear about what he's doing, and the plans that he has for it, the process that went into, not just getting the land, but figuring out what he wanted to do, how he was going to section it off, fence it, and what grapes, where they were going to go. It's really, really cool to learn about. CJ's got a good handle on it. Tried the Pinot Noir a couple of days ago, and it was really good. So he's definitely got a good thing going.
Yeah, man, CJ is, like you said, he's got his shit together. What have you learned from CJ in that space? Have you learned anything? Has CJ taught you any business tactics that you try to apply to whatever you're doing? Is there some osmosis there, just being around him?
Yeah, I mean, he's mentioned to me about, because we're so busy during the season. So in terms of like how he manages like all the different things he has going on, like he's not on the phone every day, being like overbearing on everything. He kind of has, a couple other people helping him with the day-to-day stuff. But, I think he said like every couple of weeks or like once a month or something like that, he'll have like a big call with everybody who's involved in this, everybody who's involved in that, everybody who's involved in that, and kind of make sure everything's going in the right direction and what things have to be taken care of. But he's got a lot on his plate, but what I'm realizing is that guys who have a lot on their plate are capable of having a lot on their plate.
Sure.
There's some guys that have a boatload of money that don't have a lot on their plate because they just don't want all that excess responsibility and focus to go towards there. But CJ is, not only does he have all of his companies, he's playing at a high level. He's a starter, a damn near all-star, should be in the consideration for that, and I believe president of the Players Association.
Yep.
He's got so much going on, and the way he carries himself every day, shows up to work, works hard, doesn't complain about a thing. Shows up night in and night out, playing in the games.
CJ seems like the role model. He handles his business on the court. Like he separates church and state. You feel like he's a guy, when he's on the court, he's so focused, none of that stuff bothers him.
Nah.
Even if there's fires to put out in his businesses, feels like he attends to it off the court. I could be projecting.
Yeah, I mean, the good, when you don't hear about anything bad going on with somebody, that's a great sign. That means they have everything taken care of.
Or they have a good PR team.
Yeah, well, maybe. I guess some guys need a better PR team.
I think some guys
again
need no Instagram Live and no PR team.
We're not going to get into that.
Okay, we're not going to.
But more often than not, I would say over 90% of guys have good things going for them. And another guy on my team that has a really cool investment is Larry.
Larry Nance. Talk about it.
He is an investor in a soccer team.
Which one?
That's a great question.
Well, I got the internet right here. Let's see.
You do have the internet.
Leeds, a British soccer club.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
Pretty sure bought into the ownership group at some kind of stake, which is really cool.
Apparently he's with the San Francisco 49ers ownership group in the deal. Wonder what is his Bay Area tie?
Yeah,
is it Noah Lack? No, it's not. But I found that interesting, being the first look up. Dope.
Yeah, that's a really cool investment and gives you a great excuse to go over to Europe a lot.
100%. And all the stars are investing in the Premier League teams.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could join them, but
actually, you probably get more fulfillment if you invest in the second league team that ends up getting promoted to the Premier League.
Oh, for sure.
Because then it's like, you really, it's like your baby, right?
Yeah, Tom Brady just invested in a team over there, and a lot of times guys over here are investing in that second league, and I think those higher, what is it, the Premier League's the highest one? I'm not really familiar with soccer over there, but I know the Premier League's the number one. It's probably really hard to buy into those ownership groups. Those are pretty rock solid.
Yeah, I love you, bro, but you ain't making a difference with, Man City or Barcelona, brother.
Or Madrid.
I don't think Matt Ryan's moving the needle.
No, and even guys like Tom Brady.
Yeah, 100%.
Who could move the needle, but those ownership groups are so locked in. The opportunity to buy in is probably in the second league or even the third league, where especially there's a lot of room for the value of those teams to increase.
No doubt. One guy I've seen, I don't know too much about his portfolio, but I know Terrence Mann. I also want to give that shout out. He's got T-Man Ventures, and
good for him.
He has a couple guys that he works with that I've seen who have been very tapped into the tech crypto space. One of them being Julian Aiken, who I've seen on Twitter.
Okay.
And so I think he has some impact that I'm not aware of, but I think he has some cool stuff going on. So wanted to give that quick shout out there to T-Man Ventures.
Again, we're just talking about all these kind of different investment opportunities and things that guys are in: wine,
right,
European soccer, crypto, and his own little venture thing that he's got going on. The list just goes on, like real estate, market, I mean, you name it, owning restaurants, owning stores, barbershops. I mean, it just keeps going.
And you know what's a very loud part of this? Media.
Yes, sir.
We got, so here's here, let me try to cover this. We got Pat Bev, Trae Young, Podcast P.
I think Michael Porter's doing
Michael
an active
Porter.
one. Other guys are doing one actively right now.
Matt Ryan as a guest. No, not really you.
Maybe eventually. We'll see.
We'll see.
I know Duncan Robinson was doing one. Haven't really seen. I think he took the
step back. He took a step back.
Yeah,
I think
he kind of let his foot off the gas on that a little bit.
And that's the tough part but the media stuff, right?
Yeah,
you jump in full steam ahead, and you know there could be stuff on the court that it's out of your control, but still would affect what you do off the court.
Yeah, and again, for some guys that are doing something that takes up a lot of time, like a podcast, like if, our number one job is playing. And a lot of times if we're not playing as good as we want to, or we're getting a lot of, bad feedback from, to put it nicely.
Yeah.
I could see guys kind of letting their foot off the gas of, doing stuff like that. And
I don't know how we forgot Draymond, but Draymond in the podcast. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't listened, but.
Okay.
I'm sure it's good as Draymond. I'm sure you can get a lot of cool guests on there.
You actually did know Draymond had a podcast?
No, I did. I just forgot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we got Draymond, Pat Bev.
The space is getting
crowded, right? Yeah. Not crowded, but it's getting packed.
It's getting a little watered down, maybe.
Udonis Haslem, Mike Miller, they're retired, but they have a podcast. Have you seen that one?
I mean, my favorite right now is like All the Smoke. Matt Barnes and
Steven
Jackson. Oof.
Look,
they do such a good job.
They do a good job.
Yeah.
They do a really good job. Athletes by default are entertainers. For the most part, they're wholesome.
You want to know who's really good now? Is Jeff Teague.
Oh, he's nasty.
Jeff Teague. I see the clips of him telling stories all the time. He's so good.
He's so good, dude. He's hilarious.
He's got some good ones. And
I'm a sore loser.
Even Iman Shumpert, like those guys that have such cool stories and who just don't give a shit either. They just kind of share their stories. And
the retired guys are.
It's different.
It's different.
You can kind of let the hat out of the box at this point.
Yeah.
You're not trying to like make a team still. You can just say everything. Yeah. You can share everything. And I think fans are really, really loving stories like Iman and Jeff have.
Who else active? Are we missing anyone on the active podcast side?
Probably.
Yeah.
There's probably some less known guys that have something like that.
Theo Pinson. Theo Pinson has a good one.
I was just thinking of Theo.
He has a good one.
Yeah. I bet there's a lot of younger guys too that are on that like Twitch kind of stuff where they live stream games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea how all that stuff works. I'm going to be honest.
You're not a Twitch guy? You don't Twitch stream?
No video games, no Twitch.
Man, I got to tell you.
I wouldn't know the first thing about using that stuff.
I got to tell you, for whatever you do next, if you want to build distribution and have a more of an audience than you do now, obviously playing really well and being great builds your audience and distribution. But I got to say, in this Twitch era, man, for these
TikTok,
guys that hop on a Twitch stream, as long as they like keep their dialogue non-cancelable, they're low-key building their network and distribution for whatever they want to sell next, right? Because imagine,
good for them.
Yeah. Because like imagine you, like if you're like playing 2K every night and then you build a Twitch stream audience and they're like, man, this guy Matt, he's like actually cool.
Yeah.
I thought he was a square and like he might actually be a square. Probably he actually is a square. But like, no, okay. Sorry. But man, I could like this guy. Follow,
Yeah. DM, hey, you want to do some business?
Yeah, right?
You never know.
Never know. Okay, I think that was a good podcast. I think the media side, that was pretty good. And I know NBA guys do some production. The wine space, D-Wade, he's been really good. CJ.
I think James Harden has his own.
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's a good one. James Harden sneaky has his own wine stuff.
So I saw a graphic. I don't know if it was accurate, but I think he launched a limited supply of his wine in China.
Yes.
And it sold out within seconds, and he made like $20 million or something like that.
Jay Harden.
Yeah.
You seen this before? You ever got you a bottle of that Jay Harden? What you know about that Jay Harden? You're not sipping on that Jay Harden.
I haven't tried it yet. I mean, I will try it. I mean, absolutely.
What you know about that Jay Harden?
I hope it's good. I think Channing Frye, was it wine, or I think it might have been a liquor? Channing Frye. Let's talk about it. It might have been like a bourbon.
Chosen Family Wines.
Wine, okay.
Chosen Family was founded by 2016 NBA champion Channing Frye with a mission to connect people through some of the best wines imaginable.
Yeah, man. I might have to do that one day.
Why not?
Yeah.
Get you a little place out here in Napa. Your girl's here.
You want to know who...
I got a DM on Instagram.
You want to know who showed me a lot of good wines was Rudy Gobert last year.
Yeah.
Man, every road trip we would go out to dinner, and most of the time he would order a really nice bottle of French wine. And let me tell you.
Solid. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Is he tapped into this space?
Never failed.
I feel like
he's got a lot going on.
What if I Googled Rudy Gobert wine? I bet you there's something that pops up. Cognac Frappin.
He has he gave us all a cognac. He has a cognac.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah. Cognac Frappin.
He has a cognac. I think recently I've seen him posting some stuff about like some health and wellness products that I'm sure he's an early investor in. So, great guy.
Yeah. Okay, who Braun got Lobos.
I mean
Braun has everything.
I mean, his hands are in everything, and whatever he touches turns to gold. So
yeah,
he's got that.
When you were in LA, did you see any how he did business off the court, or is it pretty okay?
I didn't see any of that.
Okay,
I just know his days are pretty mapped out. From what he said publicly, his days are very mapped out, and all his time is being used productively, whether it's business-wise, sports-wise, family-wise, personal time-wise, like everything's kind of planned out. But I think with LeBron, you see him very, very active in the off season,
right,
doing stuff. Because again, no matter where he goes, you're gonna see, LeBron's there, and then you can have like a solid idea of why he's there. Like when he went to kind of do the flag for that, what was it, a F1 race over the summer. Le Mans.
Le Mans. Yeah.
Le Mans. Yeah. But then, you can imagine he's over there. He's probably, doing some kind of business over there too. Plus, he's got his own media company. Same with Steph. They have
Uninterrupted.
Yeah. Other stuff too. Like, I forget the names of it, but he makes movies. I mean, he's incredible, man.
What about like the one-off stuff? Like, I feel like let's get back into that Reggie Bullock category. I think that's an interesting one. I think there's stuff like, here's a sleeper one. Harry Giles has his own like trucking company.
He's not the only one. Oh, so Harry has his own company. Last year I had a teammate who I won't name their name. I don't know if they want people knowing it, but they own like a couple of trucks like down in Texas that like drive all over the place, and they just rent them. Rent them out. It's kind of like if you buy like a little house and rent it out. It's like the same thing buying these big tractor trailers.
Harry Giles, if you ever see this episode, please come on Athletes and Assets. We accept NBA.
We can make that happen.
Would you recommend Athletes and Assets? Because
Harry's a friend of mine. We can get him on here.
You know what I'm saying? This is why we got Matt here in the studio. But I'm very unfamiliar with how that works. Like, how do you make...
Me too. I'm sure what the tractor trailer stuff,
how do you make money owning like a truck? Like, are you getting paid to deliver the packages and then...
No, I think you own the physical...
you own the truck.
You own it. And then a company has to rent it to move their products. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, okay. Yeah. So like if you're shipping, couches across the country, and that couch company will pay you to ship it. to move it, but you got to pay for the drive. You got to compensate the driver.
Yeah, I don't know all the details.
Hey man, you started it.
But I'm sure they're making money.
Yeah.
You know, if they're going to stay in it, I'm sure they're making money. And also too, a lot of guys are into fashion now.
Oh man.
Like guys are also getting paid like a good amount of money to wear certain brands. And
oh, are they talk about that? I the catwalk before the game.
Oh my God, it's a red carpet.
It's become a business in its own, right?
It's a business before the game.
Guys are paying a lot for their outfits, I know, but now you're mentioning the tides are shifting, right? Have you been paid? Have you been paid to like wear an outfit before a game or something?
Haven't been paid, but most of the clothing I wear, I didn't pay for.
Okay.
You know, a lot of brands will send you stuff, and they just want you to wear. They hope you wear it, and get your picture taken, and hopefully post it.
Yeah.
But you know, guys that have a way higher following than I do on these social media accounts do get paid to wear, you know, certain apparel brands. I mean, shoot, every time you look at Jimmy Butler, he's wearing an Aloe outfit and hat. You know, he's not doing that for free.
I don't know it, Jimmy, so I'm okay.
Like, you know, guys are whatever brands. There's so many freaking clothing brands that, you know, every day you see guys with packages on their chairs in the locker room from companies hoping that, you know, wear their stuff and then post pictures about it. Some guys definitely are getting paid a good amount.
But like if you're a certain level, like if you're getting paid like a Jimmy Butler or Zion, I mean, they could spend whatever they want on a pair of clothes and just rock that. But
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes guys will wear what they buy, but
yeah.
You know, a lot of, you know, sometimes they don't. They wear what they're getting paid to wear.
Have you seen some of your work colleagues design clothes? Be on the designing fashion, the design part of things. Like they actually have hands in making the material, or they have a say in the boardroom.
And like what it looks like. The only example I can think of, so when I was in Minnesota and Ant's shoe was coming out, you know, I was talking to Ant in the locker room about it, kind of asking him about it. Like, you know, he has his own shoe. That's cool. So I was asking him, well, went into it. Like, you know, he said he had multiple like meetings with the design team, and he was very, very hands-on in kind of making his first shoe what he wanted it to. He said not only was he doing that for his first shoe, but the second shoe, the third shoe, the fourth shoe. Like he's very hands-on with what the line is going to look like as well, not just the first one. And now, you know, Ant's funny because he wears his signature basketball shoe like everywhere. So not just on the court, but like he's just always wearing them. And I might do that too if I had my own shoe. And was
why
getting
not?
paid a whole
what happens if it gets dirty? You just get another one. Like
yeah, he's not worried about one pair getting dirty.
No.
He's got a lot at his disposal.
I think he's wearing a different pair every day, probably.
Maybe. Also knowing Ant, he might just be wearing the same one every day until he gets tired of it.
Yeah. Ant seems like a dope dude from every media interview.
Like, freaking love him.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I don't want to call him a kid, but he's like a few years younger than me, and just like an amazing person.
Yeah,
he's gonna have an amazing career on the court, off the court. You know, the world is what in his hands. Like what's that? The world's at his fingertips. I mean, he's gonna be great.
The world's his oyster.
He is great.
I'm a big the world's your oyster kind of guy.
Yeah,
in terms of that
something
saying.
like that.
Yeah. What's your saying?
I don't know.
Come on, bro. You're a New Yorker, bro. You got to have some.
My saying, I mean, it is what it is.
Well, this is the gabagoop.
It is what it is.
Is what it is.
That's it.
Just like the TV show.
It is what it is.
With Mason Cameron. Okay, so we covered fashion. Back to real estate. Are guys like renting out their like homes that they don't live in during the season or something? Or is there some?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think guys are being really smart now. The guys who I've spoken with, a lot of guys have bought land, whether it's in the South or the Midwest, you know, good chunks of land, and are kind of holding on to it as the values continue to go up and their equity, and it just continues to go up. A lot of guys go into commercial deals with groups, and that's another form of investment. Other guys are buying, you know, multifamilies, and
can like any guys you feel comfortable giving a shout out in the real estate space? Like who, you know what I mean?
in the real estate space. Myself, I just did my first real estate deal in what county in New York? I'm not even going to mention where it is, but it's in New York, like a multifamily, and from what it looks like and the returns I'm getting already, it looks like it's going to be a very good investment. And the plan is to kind of get out in the next few months and go right into the next deal, wherever that may be.
That's awesome.
But no, some former teammates who I've spoken with, who have just bought land and are kind of just sitting on it, waiting for the right time to sell. Guys who just are stacking properties to their portfolio. And, the more money that guys have, they can kind of have people that manage their portfolios for them. Yeah. And so then you can become a little bit more hands-off, whereas guys probably in my shoes are much more hands-on at the beginning. Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing business-wise you've seen a player like invest in or do off the court? Like, have you seen someone invest in, like, I don't know, like a dog breeding thing or like Yorkie thing? Or
Torian Prince has a dog breeding in Texas because he lives in
Dallas. He does?
So he breeds.
That's cool, actually.
If you go to his TP, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Rare Soul Kennels?
There we go.
Oh, dude. Oh, we need him on the podcast. This is a dog, bro. That's a
stud.
That ain't a DOG. That's a DAWG. That's a dog, bro. If you could see this, bro.
An absolute animal.
That is insane. I want to make sure I'm going to like.
I mean, I think that's cool. I don't know if that's weird.
No, that's not. That's cool. That's not a weird. That's dope. Wow.
Yeah, I want to start a foundation soon, and one of the things I want to
Bully XL.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Cane Corso.
And the Cane Corso. Wow.
Yeah, studs.
Yeah,
I want to start a foundation soon, and one of the things that I want to raise money for and kind of do as like a charitable thing is whether it's donating money to or starting my own like dog kennels or
wow,
what are those called? Where all the
shelters, animal shelters.
Yes, that's something I would love to do. I've always had dogs in the house, love dogs. So
yeah, that's a good one.
And then you see those like really emotional videos on Instagram where like some dogs have been in the shelter for a while and they're just in the cage looking all sad.
In the arms of the angel. Donate to Matt Ryan's animal shelter today. And Matt might get you a Bully XL.
But they just look so sad and like you just want to rescue them all, but you can't do that. So what can you do? You can make sure that they have food. You can help maybe renovate the shelters.
You're a good guy, man.
Provide more employees. I don't know, stuff like that.
Yeah, you're a good guy, man. Hey, I'm glad I can give you that beautiful PR, man. This is like
love it. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
The foundation's coming.
Yeah. On that topic, anything like touring you've seen? Anything else? Like that was cool. Like something you wouldn't expect.
I mean that the truck one I was shocked at when I heard that last year from a guy. I'm like, damn, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
And then
what else?
I think the Holy Grail, the biggest splash we've seen is definitely what Andre's doing.
I mean, he's set the bar pretty high.
He set the bar really high.
Yeah.
Raising $200 million for Mosaic General Partnership.
Yeah. I think one of the coolest things going on right now is Jonathan Isaac from the Orlando Magic has started his own apparel brand. Like I want to say the first NBA player to start their own apparel brand besides like LaMelo Ball, who started his when he was like in high school.
Unitas,
yeah. So it's a brand, kind of like a Christian-based, and I'm actually wearing the shoes, and not right now, but in the games I've been wearing them this year. They're like, when I tried them on in the preseason, I was like, damn, like these are super comfortable.
He's got the Judah ones.
Yeah, so a bunch of them have, all of them actually have Bible verses on them, and my God, they're so comfortable. Like I've just been wearing them all year.
By the way, I do clean my Mac screen, so please don't address that. You seen that brand? Damn, Active Faith. It's kind of like an Active Faith competitor. Yeah,
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Now, so he just launched. I don't know exactly how they're doing so far, but he's got all the merch there. Cool
merch
website.
Looks great.
Has dropped all the shoes. So
that's sick.
Yeah, that's something really cool that a guy's doing in the league right now.
That's so sick.
Yep.
Well, shit, look, we got a lot of cool guys, and there's a lot of cool guys in the NBA.
There is. There is.
And we appreciate...
I mean, there's a few hundred of them. The media and the fans probably only talk about, 5% of the players?
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys in the NBA that have a lot of, come from all walks of life, from all different places in the world that are doing some really cool things. You want to know who I would love to know what they're doing, like business-wise?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Nikola Jokić. I would love to, he's making so much money. We know his horses, his love for horses.
Yeah.
Making $50, $60 million a year. I would love to know, stuff he's interested in.
Dude.
I doubt he'll tell anybody.
No.
And I saw that he just signed with, he just signed with an apparel brand. Not, he just left Nike for
Chinese 361.
Yeah.
He's partnered with the... So if
you
are leaving Nike...
They gave him probably...
If you are leaving Nike to go to this brand, which...
I would imagine they gave him 8 figures per year, north of $10 million a year. I would imagine.
I agree. I easily.
But what I want to know from so what's he doing? How is he spending his money?
You want to know who? You want to know who? You want to know what Nikola Jokić is doing?
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to know what kind of businesses he's interested in. I'm sure he's you see him partying all the time when he goes home. I can imagine maybe he's opened up a couple of restaurants and maybe a nightclub over there. But again, that doesn't even put a dent into what he's making. I'm sure he's doing a lot of other cool stuff.
You saw him on Hotels.com. Did you see him on the Hotels.com
commercial?
Yeah, him and
Payne Watson.
That interesting.
Yeah.
That was caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
But again, it's kind of the same as a 361 thing. He's signing
you're asking. You want to know?
Thing.
You have a feeling he owns something.
I want to see some behind the
shit.
scenes stuff. Yeah, I want to know some behind the scenes stuff. We know LeBron. LeBron is making movies. Has his tequila, yada yada yada. I would love to know what Jokić is doing.
Yeah, that would be
not all of it. Just a couple of things, stuff that not everybody knows.
Do you think?
I think people would be really interested in that.
You think most of his ties are in Serbia and on that side of things? He doesn't, because think about it. He doesn't go there he can't spend more than 2 months out of the year there.
I mean, no, our summers are pretty long.
Short.
His obviously last year was way shorter.
Yeah.
But think about it. There's 30 teams in NBA. 16 make the playoffs. So 14 teams, they're on summer break, or I'm saying summer break like I'm in college, but their summers start the second week of April. So think about it. Second week of April, you have half of April, May, June, July, August. Guys don't come back into their market till September.
Yeah.
That's over 5 months of summer. Now, when you go
when you put it like that, I was so wrong. Yeah,
but when you go all the way to the finals and they're playing around June, mid to late June in the finals, your summer is way shorter.
Yeah.
Then you only get July and August. You lose 2 months. When I was with Boston and we went to the finals, that's an extra 2 months of playing basketball and being in the season, which was amazing. But Jokić only had a couple months over in Serbia this summer.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask Jokić a question. I'm gonna pull up Google Translate really quick. Jesus Christ, I don't even. Oh God, this is a bad idea. Please come on the podcast.
Jokić?
Translated to Serbian. Oh my gosh.
Listen, he just did Michael Porter's.
That was yeah.
Maybe he's opening it up to podcasts.
I would feel like he's not a podcast guy, but I was surprised. Nikola, udete u podcast. All right, that's my attempt to get him on the pod. I don't even know if I said that right.
All right.
But man, this was fun. This was fun.
This was fun.
Yeah, it's exciting to see what the players in the league are doing, and hopefully we cover more in depth. This has been another great episode of the Athletes and Assets podcast. I'm your host, Noah Lack. I bring on your favorite athletes to chat about business topic, and today we have our guest co-host, New Orleans Pelicans shooting guard Matt Ryan. Matt, thanks so much for joining us, brother.